You've now seen some time-lapse photography of how I got to where I'm at right now. I'm just now doing some finishing stages, and I wanted to talk to you about how I do this. I'm cleaning a brush, and with a very clean flat brush, I'm going in and getting out the small highlights now. Those areas that should be lighter. I can also use this to put in the darker areas, but right now I'm mostly concerned with getting out some of the lights, like in here and right here. I'm going to have to put some dark back on that one. The light here is really important. And this going up in here. Got to put some dark back in now. Again, using the same brush, I'm just going to move her gaze a little bit. Tighten up this nostril a bit. Go a little darker in here. Been several places where I've had to really think about how I'm reworking the form from the drawing. I didn't like the way the drawing was working, so I had to go back in and fix it a bit. On the shadow side, we can work a little more shadow in to get a sense of shape. Putting in some of the character right now. We're going to have to work some of the upper lip issues when we actually are doing overpainting. And there are some upper lip issues we do have to deal with here because it was drawn wrong to begin with, and so trying to get this in here like it should be is a little bit of a problem. I think we need to bring a little bit of a reflected light under the cheek here. Remains dark. That's a pretty lady. And now I'm going to come back with my fan brush, the blender that I was working with in the beginning. Again, I need to make sure that it's very, very clean. We don't want it to look like a rake at all. We want it to dry with a dry rag, get as much off as we can. And then we can come in here and smooth these shadows. this little. There we go. That's a little more of a Margaret smile. It's always good at this point just to remember that you're later on going to be able to paint with colors. So we're not really going to have this. All we're trying to do now is to make sure that we have our value range established. So it looks like she's pretty well established in the value range. I'm going to lighten this a little bit more again here at the edge for hair. And I think that that's our Margaret. Now, your assignment is simply to do what I have done. For the painting class, if you're in a general painting class, you don't have to go on with an overpainting at this stage. You just, it's good enough if you just follow through and do the wipeout. Now, we'd want you to do the wipeout of the whole thing. I'll put a photograph up of this when it's done so that you can see how it works and what it looks like, and we'll have a chance then for you to really understand how this works when we blow things up, and when we really get going with the fun stuff. Last couple of hairs here. Put a little shadow on this curl so we can see the hair. And I think that's all we're going to do for now. And so, again, we want you to do this, complete the whole thing. I'll do the whole gown, the hands, the neck, all the jewelry in burnt sienna. Then I will come back and I will do the color. So again, for the painting class, if you're in the general painting class, the assignment for oil paint is just to do this, to get the whole thing done in burnt sienna. Then if you come back and take an oil painting class, we'll study the oil over painting and how to use color, which is a whole new and exciting study. Thank you very much for watching. We'll look forward to the next stage.